I live, I die, I live again. Witness my ride to Valhalla in episode 95 of Shiren. The Wanderer. By the gods I worship him. V8. Hey Wanderers, it's me, Doofy. Back to play out this critical turn I left myself once again. I do not want to go down the stairs because I don't want to run directly into an enemy. So, I think I'm going to try this herb. See what happens. Didn't help me last time. Oh, bitter herb. That's not good. Please let me go down the stairs, sir. Oh, no. What a way to begin an episode. Floor 7, level 7, and run number 7. That's 777. That's supposed to be lucky. Well, it's not lucky for Doofy Doo. That means I am now on run number 8. I'm on my last 3 tries I gave myself to beat Faye's final puzzle. Ugh. I know what's going to happen too. I am a terrible, terrible procrastinator. I remember in high school, sometimes I would actually write my English essays in the stairwell the period before they were due. I would skip the previous class just to write the essay. Ugh, that's how bad I was. So I'm going to get to like run 10, and then I'm going to be like, oh no, I have to take this seriously. This is my last chance. I'm probably going to get pretty far. I don't know if I'll win, but oh, Doofy, you got to take this seriously. All right. I did find a solution though in college because I was like failing some of my finals because I was procrastinating so much and I didn't want to study. I would actually write on my calendar that the final was 2 days before it actually was, and then I'd cram the night before that, and then I'd have 2 whole days to relax and just let the cramming sink in. So that actually helped a lot. Maybe I can convince myself that this is actually my last run. I don't know. You have to really, really lie to yourself convincingly, and I don't think I can. Alright, I already have a Staff of Sloth. That'll help. Hey, I shop and I have no money. This is just cruel. Yeah, it sure would be great if I could afford that iron shield. Oh, hey, and a Cyclops killer too. That would be nice. If I was just goofing around, I would like swing a staff at the shopkeeper and hope it was something good. Like paralyze. I don't even remember what scrolls 1,000 guidance. It is brain-meltingly hot here in our nation's capital. And I am in no shape to think about prices. This is perfect weather to go into a cool movie theater and watch movies. Or just sit around in your boxers and play some video games, which is what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to go here pretty soon though. Out into the heat and keep an appointment. But I have a few minutes left to play Shiren the Wanderer. I'm going to finish my Jar Women analogies this episode. Talking about movies, though, I did watch some movies since it's so hot. I watched Mad Max Fury Road, which I enjoyed a lot. I watched it twice, actually. Second time, not quite as good as the first, but the action was still excellent. It's a nice little homage to Seven Samurai, for any fans of that movie. And I watched a movie everyone hated. I watched Tomorrowland with George Clooney, the Disney Brad Bird movie. There's a lot of imagination. It's definitely not one of Bird's best movies, but kind of grows on you, you know? I kind of liked it. It's optimistic, has a good message, a little heavy-handed, but it's not as horrible as everyone says it is. At least I didn't think it was that bad. And now I am relaxing in the coolness to play Shiren the Wanderer. Let's see, what jars was I on? I was on pressable jars. I never went over those. So, let's start out with the Cairo jar. Most useful of the pressable jars. A Cairo jar is kind of like a purely physical relationship. So, aka a fuck buddy. And just like when you first start out in Shiren, you think Cairo is the best thing ever because you're coming from RPGs where healing items are important. When you first start out dating, you're like, oh, I wish I just had a woman to have sex with me and nothing else. None of that other complicated emotional crap. I'm not saying that's not good, just like I'm not saying it's not nice to, hey. Monster scroll early, very lucky. I'm not saying it's not nice to have a Cairo, but you don't need a bunch of them. And they're not as useful as you might think. Look at all these mammals. I'm like beating them to death with my cudgel. It's like clubbing baby seals to death. What do you do for fun, Doofy? I like to stick a couple nails on a board and beat them beavers till they bleed. Oh, Doofy, you are a sick man. You're still coming. Phrasing. Alright, what kind of shield is this? Bronze ward, I will take it. And an unequipped trap, so I can see if any of this other equipment is cursed. As you know, as I'm sure I've said before, a monster house, a monster scroll early on in phase final puzzle. Oh! Oh, I didn't step on it. I'm so proud of myself. I am really on point this run. Did not immediately step on the landmine. You find a lot of loot, you get a lot of experience, so I'm already ahead of the game. Already on floor 2. I like this start. It's not a cursed pickaxe, but I was by the unequipped trap, so it would have been okay. Another pressable jar, alright. Could be a monster jar or walrus jar. See what it is. It's a walrus jar. Perfect timing. A walrus jar is like Winona Ryder. You young people watching probably don't even know who that is. Oh no, walrus jar is like a subservient partner. Sometimes you'll meet guys. Oh, Doofy, don't be so ridiculously careless. Ugh, if I'd stepped on a landmine trap, a big landmine that got killed by a mammal, I'd be so mad at myself, Doofy. Be careful, Doofy. Don't have a lot of runs left. Sometimes older guys will complain about American women. They're like, oh, American women are so bossy and so needy. I'm going to marry some mail-order bride from a third-world country, and she's going to be so grateful that I rescued her from poverty, and she's going to cook and clean and do everything I say. You want a slave, dude. That's what you want. Just say it. You want a slave. And just like having a walrus jar to go steal stuff for you is nice from time to time. Maybe having a woman that does your every bidding would be good. I don't know. I suppose that might be nice, make you feel like a big man. But it's not the best. There are better jars out there. And there are better women out there. So don't settle for that. So that leaves one pressable jar, the one I have not found, a monster jar. Monster jar is like a woman with serious baggage. I'm talking like crazy, jealous ex-boyfriends. Like, oh, what's that movie? Scott Pilgrim, or comic, or game. The crazy exes. That's baggage. Wacky parents. Kids from another relationship that have serious issues. Or ex-husbands. So, yeah, monster jar, you press it, stuff comes out, bad things come out to surprise you. I know I've had some girlfriends that were hyper-religious. I can be friends with someone who's pretty religious, but I figured out a long time ago if a woman is really religious, I cannot be in a relationship with her. Because at some point, they find out that I'm agnostic, they think I'm going to hell, they try to save me, which is sweet. I mean, of course, if you think someone's going to be tortured for eternity, you want to save them, but it doesn't work. They're not going to convince me. So those relationships don't work out because of baggage. So those are the 3 pressable jars. That leaves the 4 more jars that are potentially useful, except for one. First one is... I've got a lot of jars this run, by the way. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting poisoned too. The first useful jar is an ID jar. An ID jar is like a good friend because they tell you the truth. They reveal the truth of a situation to you. Stagger in the comments said that he told his friend that he was involved with a woman who was just using him for his money, a gold digger, and his friend probably didn't want to hear that. But he told him the truth. That's what a good friend does. So you need women like that in your life who are going to tell you the truth even if it's not what you want to hear. Hey, talking about IDing. All my jars got ID'd in. I got a melding jar with 5 slots. Ooh, this is a good start. Just don't want to lose that melding jar. Must protect the good jar. This is a good time to talk about the melding jar. So a melding jar is like a woman who makes things simple, who makes you feel strong. Speaking of which, as I become poisoned and weakened. So maybe things are out of control. You have a lot of things going on in your life and nothing seems to be going right. You talk to this woman and everything seems simple and you know you're going to be okay and you know you can get through it. Anytime you have someone like that in your life, maybe it's not a romantic partner, maybe it's just a good friend, but that is like a melding jar. They take a lot of things, they reduce it to one. They simplify things, they make you feel stronger. Very, very good. Last 2 jars. It's really easy to get along with someone when things are going well. When you're on vacation, when you have a lot of money, when you're happy. But when things get shitty, like they're getting kind of shitty now, I'm kind of weak. I don't like this. This is what happened last run. Ugh, and I needed that antidote herb. For once, I needed an antidote herb. Nerdy bird, why'd you take it? But when things are going crappy, then you find out who your real friends are and who the keepers are. So, weakening, strengthening jar. As I slow down this rice changer, save him for later. I really don't want my melding jar to be rice balled. Need to be careful. If when you go to the jar and you're in a time of need, whew, that was close. Gotta put this down. And you find your partner coming down on you hard and making things worse. That is like a weakening jar. Someone who in a bad situation makes things worse. They're not a problem solver. You need a strengthening jar. When times get tough, when you're out of work, when you get ill, when you lose your job, you need someone supportive who's even always there for you. And you want to be that for the other person. You want to be their strengthening jar. So that is the best kind of jar. Find your strengthening jar. Someone who makes you feel secure and strong. Alright, that's all the jars. I gotta go. I'm finally done talking about love and Shiren. Next episode, I will talk about money. Source of great strife. This run has started out pretty well. We'll see if my luck holds next week on Shiren the Wanderer. See you then. Bye.
My name is Doofy. My world is hunger and beavers. Once I was on top, a heroic wanderer riding on a golden chicken. When I tripped and fell, each of my jars in their own way were broken. It was hard to tell who was more lazy, me or the talking weasel in my pants. I'm pretty sure it's me.
Beat them beavers to the blade.